Hola guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Roxanne. If it's your first time here, then welcome. Today I want to talk to you guys about my favorite graphic novels, middle grade reads, and picture books of 2018. Let's get right into it. The first is Honor Girl by Maggie Thrash. This is a graphic memoir where Maggie Thrash talks about when she was 15 years old, goes to this camp and sort of begins to discover who she is as a young girl, make friends, find her voice, and discover things about her sexuality that she didn't know before and she hadn't really explored in the ways that she does. And it is the art is very simple, but I think it fits the story very well. It's a very quiet story about this young girl's summer and about everything that it meant to her and the changes that she underwent. But I think it was beautifully written, and I think the artwork works beautifully for the story, and I'm very glad that I read it. Next is probably also the winner for cutest book of the year, and that is The Prince and the Dressmaker by Jen Wang. And this one is just everything. It's about this young prince who has a secret. At night he likes to dress up in dresses and become this other sort of take on this other persona of this fabulous woman in dresses, and he meets this dressmaker who makes dresses that he admires and really likes, and that he develops a friendship with, and they sort of keep each other's secrets, and they develop a beautiful friendship, and it's about accepting someone exactly for who they are. It's about defending who you are as a person. It takes on the way family reacts to things about you that they didn't expect, but them showing you love and support regardless. And the artwork, I think, is just super cute, and I mean, there's really nothing bad I could say about this story at all. It warmed my heart. It was absolutely just the cutest thing ever. Then we have This One Summer by Jillian Tamaki and Mariko Tamaki. The illustrator of the two is Jillian, and Mariko is the writer. And this is about a summer that these two friends spend in this town. Their families go there, and they spend the summer together every year. And it's about everything from having your first crush to just having quiet summer nights, to the difficulties that a young girl has to deal with when her parents are having difficulties, and how you deal with that and how you can share that with other people or not. It's a very, very quiet story. Not a lot happens. So if you're the type of reader that needs sort of a lot of very plot-based, action-based stories, this probably won't be for you. But it was very quiet. It has a monochromatic blue, purpley artwork that, again, just does wonders for the story. It's just a great way to portray the story itself, and I loved it. Like I said, it was very, very quiet exploration of friendship and young girlhood. Some sort of comics, graphic novel things that I read. I started reading Giant Days this year and absolutely loved it. I think I'm up to like number 5, 6, something like that. I just bought 2 more that I have to read, but I love them so much. These girls are just amazing. They're hilarious. Like, I constantly laugh out loud when I'm reading these. I love the relationships, the friendships. I love how well they get along with each other, how supportive they are of each other. I love the college life of it all, and they can keep making this forever and ever as far as I'm concerned, and I will read all of them. A picture book that I absolutely adored this year was Dreamers by Yuyi Morales. This is about immigrating into the United States and discovering things like the library and books and everything that they can mean, and all the ways that they can help when you are learning new things and when you're trying to find your place in a new and scary place. And I think all of the hype that this is getting is as one of the like best things to read from a Latin American author from the past year is warranted. It's simple, but it's beautiful. And then at the very end, she tells you more about her story, and she lists some books that meant a lot to her, that inspired her. So these are all of the books that she mentions, and yeah, I thought this was absolutely gorgeous, and I'm glad that I picked it up. My favorite middle grade read of this past year was Nevermore: The Trials of Morgan Crow by Jessica Townsend. This is the first in, I believe, a 9-part fantasy middle grade series that's coming out, and it's wonderful, it's magical, it feels very nostalgic, and Morgan Crow is probably one of my favorite characters to come out of a fantasy book in a really long time. It's this young girl, Morgan Crow. She is seen as this cursed child in the world in which she lives. Everything negatively that happens in her town is attributed to her, and this world sort of goes through these seasons or cycles, and every time that a certain day comes about, every child that was born on the last of those days will die. So she is she's a young girl, and she thinks that she still has about a year or two left, and then all of a sudden this era ends. This same day is gonna happen again, and so her death day comes a lot sooner than she thought it would. But then something ridiculously amazing happens, and this guy named Jupiter comes and takes her away to this other world where she is now part of the trials to be a member of the Wonder Society, and it's about her trials to try and get into this Wonder Society, and it's about trying to figure out why she was seen as a cursed child in her past life. It's about her discovering things about herself that she didn't know before, and there's a giant talking cat, and it's full of magic and life and wonder, and it is one of the greatest things I've read in a long time, and I read it twice last year. That's how much I liked it. The last but not least of the middle grade reads that I read this year that I loved is A Dash of Trouble. It is the first in the Love, Sugar, Magic series by Ana Meriano, and this is a really cute sort of present day fantasy middle grade book about this family of witches whose power manifests through their baking, and so they own a bake shop, and this first book takes place around the time of Dia de los Muertos, and it's about the youngest in the family, or one of the youngest in the family. So she's very impatient. She knows that things are going on with her older sisters and her mom and her aunt that she doesn't know about, but she wants to know what's going on. And then she finds out, oh, we're all witches. And it's about her discovering her powers earlier than she should and creating havoc, and all the wonderful, great things that happen to kids in middle grade fantasy reads. I thought it was full of culture and magic, and it was a delight to read. And the next one's coming out this year. It's one of my most anticipated of 2019, and I definitely recommend it. Thank you for watching and for listening. Let me know what some of your favorite reads of this year have been. Let me know if there are any similar to these that you think I would enjoy. As always, love you guys.